Three men and a multiverse of sci-fi's finest spacecraft. But which ones can claim to be the greatest ships ever? Welcome to Space Doc Jury.
Welcome to Space Doc Jury, episode 30. I'm Lee, and I'm bringing the Gunstar 1 from the Last Starfighter.
I'm Peter, and I'm bringing the Axiom from Wally.
And I'm Andy, and I'm bringing the Andromeda Ascendant from Andromeda.
Oh, there you go. So this is unused universes.
Ships we ain't done yet.
Ships what we
Universes we've not experienced yet.
Yes, experiences we haven't touched with our grubby hands.
Unsoiled.
Unsoiled. Yeah, virgin universes. So there you go.
It's all gone wrong.
There you go. And there go the wheels, flying majestically over the horizon.
To be fair, I don't think we have wheels so much as nacelles, isn't it?
Yeah.
The nacelles have come off.
The nacelles have come off, and they've gone into the hedgerow. Anyway, so... Yeah, right. So we've got unused universes, or universes we have not done yet. And, let's start off. But before we do... let's just get down to our top 10.
Well, let's ring the changes here.
Okay.
As somebody who was always picked last for the football team in PE, I'd kind of like to celebrate our losers here. Those poor unloved ships, many of whom are having to play in their pants. The Fleet of Shame. Shall we do the bottom 10?
Oh, the Fleet of Shame. Let's do that then. Go for it.
Right, at number 10, the least shit ship of shitness is the LV-426 Derelict.
Nice.
Mostly crashed, so surprised it wasn't one of mine. It's a little known fact that...
To be fair, it started out crashed, and then it took off a little bit and crashed again.
Yeah.
But then it took off.
Yeah. And then it doubled down on it and crashed.
Oh, yeah, so yeah.
So a lot of crashing was involved, but despite that, it wasn't me, okay? Shaggy. Anyway, it's a little known fact that LV-426 isn't the name of the planet, but the postcode of the shop the ship crashed into. Sid's Pie Mash shop ceased trading that very day. At number 9, it's how the ack did it do so badly? It's beyond me, but never mind.
It's because you gave it ack when I wanted ack.
Oh, acking hell. Wobbling about a bit at number 8, it's the groovy 60s Dalek ship from the film. A work of art, but rather hampered by the fact we never see it in space.
And it looks like a box.
I love it! Get lost. It shouldn't be this low.
It's the front end. It's the front end of a Morris Minor.
It's a sexy Morris Minor. It's the sort of Morris Minor you want to stroke lovingly.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Morris Minor will give you a stroke.
Breaker, good buddy, at number 7, pulling into the all-you-can-eat hot dog stall on Junction 11 of the M5. It's the Speedo Ghost, justly hovering at the bottom
Ace
here.
Trucking. Yeah.
It's trucking. Truck you.
Trucking, yeah.
At number 6, slightly less than meets the eye, it's the Ark from Transformers, crashing into a volcano near you soon, carrying a legion of transforming accountants and photocopier repair bots.
A moment of silence for Jeff.
It all went so horribly wrong. Quark! Get an eyeful at number 5, lads. It's the well-endowed Nell from Battle Beyond the Stars. All the boobies you could possibly want.
Yeah. Boobies.
Crashing into number 4, it's Lilo's Red One. Euphemism. And number 3, suffering from severe malware issues and with a guidance system bought by bots imported from a Uruguayan porn site, it's the ID4 mothership.
Nice.
Yeah, pile of crap. Just floating above the bottom like a vegan's first dump of the day, It's the bunch of washing machine parts that is the Thunder Road. Where the hell did you take that, Lee?
From Explorers. It was just a random take.
Oh, that was one of the random ones. Fair enough.
Oh, I can't blame you for that.
And
No, but
finally,
I can blame Pete for giving it more points for coolness than what he gave my one because it was red.
that's right. Yes. Oh yes. And finally, dropping like a turd from a diving board, holding up the bottom like Sid James loose in a convent. Currently, the worst we have to offer is the USM Auriga, from that Alien film.
You were right the first time.
Yes, from that Alien film they thankfully never made after number 3.
Yeah, with a grand total of 16 whole points.
Oh,
look at that!
It's lucky to get that.
It did well. So there you go. That's the bottom. Yeah, well done. I like those descriptions.
Literally
by the way.
the bottom.
Yeah, and ironically, the top of the bottom are both my ships.
One ship, one space station.
Well, the Auriga and the Derelict are both mine, and Thunder Road's mine. Mars Attack Source is yours.
No, I was saying you've got both the bottom and the top because Auriga's yours, but so is the Death Star.
Oh, right, yes, that as well. Sorry, I was just looking at the top. I was looking at the bottom 10. I was just noticing that, ironically, for all our mocking, Pete's actually entries into the bottom 10 are actually only the middle section of the bottom 10.
Yeah, I haven't got the worst ships.
The worst ships.
Clearly, I'm not that crap.
The worst
You're
ships.
not trying hard enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, give it
up your game, damn it.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Well, you never know. Maybe this time.
Well, this time.
Anyway, right. So, so we have the Andromeda Ascendant, the Axiom, and the Gunstar 1. And, who lost last time? Well, looking at it, it was the Volon Transport.
Oh, that was me, wasn't it?
That was you.
Right.
So, over to you, Pete, for the Axiom from Wow.
Cue some really good music, if nothing else. Yes,
Michael
the Axiom.
Giacchino.
The by and large B&L corporation ship, putting the star into Executive Starliner from 2008's Wall-E. 2008. How old do I feel? Bloody hell. I remember watching that.
10 years older than you were when it came out.
Strangely so, yes, almost. Anyway, one of several ships used to evacuate the rubbish-strewn barren wasteland that Earth had become by the 29th century, or to be honest, the rate we're going, probably a lot earlier than that. During their protracted voyage into the Kuiper Belt, the Axiom's passengers were able to relax and enjoy a variety of entertainments aboard the Axiom, as long as they didn't involve any exercise. There's a pool for sitting by, shopping malls to ride through, and golf courses for robots to play for you. And of course, cupcake in a cup. Woo-hoo! The ship was almost entirely crewed by robots, controlled by her shipboard computer, voiced by one Sigourney Weaver. So that's got to be worth points, if nothing else.
Oh, we're already stretching.
Plus, there was
I was going to say, you got to, after what we should do that mini-sode, she's got a lot to answer for.
She's not in the worst, though, to be fair. Plus, there was a single human captain, who, to be frank, doesn't do a great deal until things change in a big way, thanks to the return of an Eve probe with the evidence of life returning to their home planet, indicating the cruise may be over. Much to the ship's autopilot robot's distress, of course. Design-wise, the Axiom top half is clearly modelled on a cruise ship, whereas the lower hull is a massive, great big fin, basically, with several large engines attached.
Made by the Mon Calamari, I suspect.
Yes, it is a bit, isn't it? Yeah. At least the bridge isn't dangling down the bottom, anyway. Like a pair of balls. She contains miles of gleaming corridors filled with cute robots. Is equipped with a ton of escape pods, just in case. And you can see where the bridge is. Woo-hoo.
There you go.
It's also got armed robots aboard, including Eve herself. So there we are. Shall we apply some numbers to this?
Yeah, let's go for it.
It starts well and then immediately nosedives, just to warn you.
Okay. I think I can see where we're going with this one, but yeah, go for it.
Size, it's 4.5 kilometres in length.
Wow, 4.5.
Which is a bit of a gap in our scale, unfortunately, I discovered.
Well, 4.5 kilometres. Oh, yeah, it is.
Because we have 1 to 2 kilometres is 10, and 2 to 4 is 11.
Right, okay. So 4.5 would be 11.5, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, you got
So-
11 is 2 to 4, and 12 is 5 to 16. So we didn't quite work that out so well.
No,
did we?
in
I,
which,
I think you're closer to the 4 than the 16. So.
well, yeah, you're closer. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I'm just saying, in the past, we've taken it where, if you
We
like,
went round up from 0.5 beyond, and of course that would give me 12. But yeah,
yeah. I mean, I give him 12.
well, like you said,
it's the rest of it. So
Yeah, there you go. I fixed the scores. I fixed the scoring system. There you go.
so what? It now says 5 to 16.
No, it says 2 to 4 and then 4 to 16.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. So go on in.
right.
So that's a 12 for you then.
12. It's a good start, but as I say, from here on inwards, it gets a bit choppy.
Yes.
Speed, sublight. There's no great evidence of the slight inkling of a lick of speed about her, it has to be said.
No.
It drifts beautifully, though.
Yeah, it's a cruise ship, and they're kind of built for, well, cruising, not racing. So I think probably a 1 here.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the lack of any other evidence, a yes.
Yeah, but even just watching it, it's blatantly a 1.
Yeah. What
And
about-
then this is where it gets interesting. Fast and light, it has a hyper jump facility
yeah.
and travels from the Kuiper Belt to Earth in seconds. So what's that, Captain Science, Mr. Andy?
I mean,
The Kuiper Belt's the edge of a solar system.
yeah. I mean, so it
So
travels.
It's only travelling from the edge of a solar system in.
Yep, but it's still jumping, so it's got something for jumping.
Well, yes, but you're effectively jumping like across hopscotch.
Well, I don't. I guess. I guess the question is, does the distance matter for the jump? Because
Well, it does, because we've got no evidence of what. We see it entering a jumping sort of thing, but we know from Star Wars, from Babylon 5, from Battlestar Galactica, from Stargate, even from Star Trek, there's different mechanics in the whatever's visually displayed in terms of a jump doesn't really tell us a huge amount. Technically, Star Trek, especially with the JJ Star Trek's quote jumps with their warp effect. So, I'd say you have to go over 1 just because it's unknown.
I think that's probably fair. Yes, sadly.
okay, 1.
If you could tell us that it had jumped from Proxima Centauri to Earth, then sure,
Yeah,
you can fight for your free there. But the Kuiper Belt is literally the edge of a solar system.
It is.
It's yeah.
It's quite a way out though. The Kuiper Belt. It's not like just beyond Pluto. I mean,
but it is the solar system still. Ultimately,
I mean, hold on 1 second.
It's not warp speeds, is what I'm saying.
Well,
at best we're arguing about a 1 or 2 here, and we don't know. So I think probably.
well,
1
there
is
you go.
fair.
It's literally 50 AUs from the sun. So it's 50 light years from the sun.
No, an AU is an astronomical unit, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun.
Okay, sorry, my apologies. So that's 50 times.
You tasked Mr. Science, and now you pay for it.
So that's still 7 minutes of light. 50 AUs. I suppose AUs in light years. I guess
It's well below a light year.
Let's go with 1, folks. Please, for my sanity.
You wanted sanity?
Yeah.
No place in this house, sir.
Oh, excuse me. Excusez-moi. I've according to Google measurements. Yeah, it's. Oh no, it's not. I've got it round the wrong way. Sorry, forget it. Don't worry.
No. Finish your thought, please, for the class.
Okay, 1 light. Yeah, basically, I put into Google AU to light years, and it went astronomical unit, and I put 5, and it said light year, and it went 7.9063, and I thought, oh, right, okay, so that's basically roughly 7 light years. Then I suddenly thought, well, hang on, that doesn't sound right, and then I noticed on the end it had E minus 5, so basically there's 5 zeros in front of that 7. So yeah,
That's a 1 then.
that's a 1. But you know, due diligence, give me my due. I mean,
Well done. Yes, you did your research. Very
did my
good.
research. There you go. Maneuverability 0.
Maybe she's capable of banking quite sharply when the captain is holding on to the tiller for dear life. So I was going to push for a 2 on this one.
I think
It does actually move about a bit.
You're a brick. You're a cruise ship brick.
More than a break. As I say, it banks hugely. I get nothing for banking in this. I bank as high as any in Wome.
There's a lot of banking going on. That much is certain. But
he's a complete banker.
I got to say, I think it's a 1, to be honest. If Lee wants to give you the extra point, then fine.
No,
but it's a 1.
I can't. It swans around with one banking move. I mean, that's hardly what you call. That's hardly cool.
You'll have us debating maths next.
Yeah, maths debating. Oh God, you don't want to do that after banking. I'm usually too tired. Anyway, moving on. Firepower.
Well, that's easy 0 because you don't fire a shot.
Oh my God. You know,
she's a cruise ship. You just watch any guns.
Guys, did you forget who bought this ship, Lee?
Hey, she doesn't crash. Give me that.
Oh, she comes in pretty hard. I don't know if she's flying again after that.
It doesn't get much better with defense, by the way, because we're active 0. Passive is unknown, so 1.
Right.
And special armed robots.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'd say just the robots from the repair standpoint would give you 1.
Yeah.
Hey!
There's that one which has an awful hard time just fixing the light outside.
Yes. Oh, there's a whole mini episode about that, which is fantastic. Yes. What's he called? Weldy guy or something? I don't know, but it's really cool anyway. Bless him.
But yes, that's
Yeah.
Again, with crew numbers, we're not doing very well here because literally it's 1 human crewman who's the captain. So that's 1.
We can pretty much call him Token.
Yes, token captain.
And his competency.
Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because he's like he ranges from struggling to read, which isn't great, to the other side of the spectrum is ultimately without him they wouldn't have completed their mission because the robotic autopilot has got a bit HAL 9000 and has decided that they can't accept the proof that there is life on Earth. So without the captain, they'd be screwed. So. That usually what we've done in the past. If somebody's been, incredibly incompetent but also competent at times, we've gone for a mid-range 3, which is what I'm pushing for.
Okay,
I'd be happy with that. I mean, you're right. Incredibly incompetent up until they're not.
Yeah,
yeah. Until
but he
such
needs
time
to be. He's competent, but generally he can't bother to even learn to read.
Yeah, we're nice until it's time not to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, again, he does. Quote, save the day, end quote.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie, right, fine.
Realization.
Can I just tell you another reason why he's definitely deserving of a 3, and maybe even worthy of a 4 if you want to argue this point. It's the first man, certainly the first captain I've ever known who's read the fucking manual.
Actually, good point. He's got a 4. There you go.
Yeah.
He reads the manual.
Yep.
That's it. Okay.
Encountered something I don't know. RTFM.
Yeah,
but in common with the rest of us, man, he does at least Google a lot as well. If he doesn't know stuff.
Yeah. Relies on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right.
Realization. This is going to depend on your approach to this particular style of Pixar, basically, because it's not obviously like a model. It's not that sort of real looking, but it's not. I think it's nice CGI. It's certainly better than the sort of Lilo and Stitch style, and it looks like what it's supposed to look like, which is a luxury passenger ship in space. So in some ways, exterior wise, I think it qualifies really nicely as what they're trying to communicate about the ship. So I'm pushing for a 4 for this.
4, right? Okay, Andy, what do you think?
I think you're selling yourself short, sir.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh wow!
Again, we both are fans of well done CG, and this is fantastically well done CG in our opinion. But the attention to detail on the outside is great. The whole sequence when Wally and Eva are flying around in and around the engine bells and everything like that, it's a beautiful sequence. And as you say, it's supposed to look like a cruise ship in space. You know what it looks like to me? It looks like something that belongs in the Hitchhiker's universe.
Yeah.
I could. I know they did the soppy Starship Titanic game a while back, but I can almost picture this as being a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy starship.
Yeah. And you know what? There's only one other ship in the entire multiverse that I can think of that goes from looking like a cruise ship and being a spaceship. And it's much better than that.
This is from your favourite film by any chance?
Yeah.
An element of some sort. I can't.
The fifth elephant. So
that was a Terry Pratchett book, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yes, it was
much better written than the fucking fifth elephant. Or
the visuals were far better, certainly.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
I give you 5 for that.
5 for that. Interiors, we see quite a bit.
Yeah,
see an awful lot.
Yeah, and it all makes sense for the story logic. So I was going for a 4 for this as well, basically. But if you want to argue to a 5, I'd be happy for that.
Yeah, I think a 5.
Yeah, 5. I think you're quite entitled to a 5. The interiors are all fantastically well realised. I adore the set pieces, like the robot repair yard and everything, the corridors with the lights everywhere, even down to the giant trash bays with the
the huge versions of Wall-E. Yes,
the Wall-Rs, was it?
Yes.
I got no problems giving you 5 for the interior.
Wow.
There you go.
Hey, a late in the day recovery here. Although science probably isn't going to help me too much here. Hyper jumps obviously is going to lose its marks,
but the fact it does go out beyond the Cooper belt,
and
that doesn't hurt you.
No.
The shipboard gravity is a bit wonky. You know, when they do a as I was trying to argue for manoeuvrability, a hard bank, everybody moves with it. Which surely, if it's shipboard gravity, they'd just be pulled
downwards.
To the
regardless of which way is up.
Exactly.
It kind of assumes.
Well, it does things like it maintains a 25-hour day on the ship, and you know, just you got. I mean, again, it's that the science is there to. I mean, I think as a mini-sode coming up where we just kind of try and define what do we just give a pass on the science for? Because things like artificial
I tell you what
gravity...
else troubles me with this one as well. Is the fact that it somehow manages to land on Earth on the pointy, narrow bits. That doesn't seem right gravity-wise.
Well, it's in a dry dock or something, isn't it? It kind of lands where it took off from.
Yeah, but it still doesn't seem right gravity-wise. Yeah, it seems to be the sort of ship that, like the Enterprise, that would only really sort of be built and exist in space. It doesn't.
Yeah. I get what you're saying there.
Yeah.
But how much are you after for science?
Well, I was looking at a 2, but you could argue me up to a 3 if you want to.
2 or 3. I'll let Lee pick, but either way, I'm happy with either one.
I'd go for a 2.
Yeah, it is.
It's just when it starts doing things like, if you're going to do gravity, then you got to start thinking about things like inertial dampers, and if you're just going to play gravity for a laugh, then it all goes a bit. Science goes out the window a bit. Yeah. Okay, so cool factor.
I'm giving it my full 4 because I absolutely adore this film, and this ship is just, as I say, it does exactly what it should do. It looks like a cruise ship in space. So, 4 from me.
Okay, Andy?
I got 3, isn't it? Yeah. I'll give it 2. It's just it doesn't appeal to me aesthetically in quite the way. I appreciate it. I think it looks very, very good, and it works great in the concept of a film. It's just it's a bit like the space battleship Yamato. It's just like it's a little bit too close to a space boat.
Yeah. The Yamato is far worse down that line, but I know what you mean. Yeah. At least it didn't have great big funnels. That would have been a bit.
like Flotsam Paradise.
Yes, exactly.
And if anyone takes that out of you two,
no, we just know that you're going to give it such a kick.
No, we wouldn't do that because we know how much you want to do it. Nah.
Oh yeah, well I'll be accepting your application as a co-host for U571 on the Black Dog then.
You know my terms are for that.
Anyway, right. Well, I'm going to give it my full 3 because even though I'm not a fan of Wall-E as a film, I can appreciate a good spaceship design, and I can appreciate it being well realised. And I think overall it's very cool. I like the style. I like the look. I think it's unique. To me it's everything that a good spaceship should be. It tells a story, it makes sense, and it sets a tone, and I think it's really nice. So I'm going to give it my full 3, which gives it a cool score of 9. And that also means we've come to the end of the scoring, and it has a mighty 43 points.
Which ain't bad for me, really.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's 3 points more than the Vorlon Transport from last time.
Yes.
You sold yourself short, Pete.
Yeah, so there you go. Wow. Well, There you go. So the Axiom from Wall-E has got 43 points. And now it's time to move on to the next ship. And the next ship, because I came second last time, obviously we're not counting Anne-Marie because she's not around. But yes, I came second. So next up is my ship, the Gunstar. Yeah, the Gunstar is a primary space superiority fighter and attack craft deployed by the Star League. Capable of short and long-range space flight and interdiction, the Gunstar is a two-person craft and is 20 metres in length and carries a complement of 2 operators, a pilot and a gunner. Its primary weapons are lasers, photon bolts and particle beams, and the Gunstar is capable of rapid acceleration. The Gunstar can also abruptly stop, with the forward acceleration being dampened by reverse thrusters on the outside of the hull. Gunstars are also equipped with an onboard computer whose scanner can give navigator information on a ship or a target. And basically the one we're referring to in this one is called Gunstar 1, which was a prototype of the standard Starfighter Gunstar, piloted by Alex Rogan of Earth and Grig, and prototype because it has a weapon known as the Death Blossom, and it was used to great effect by against the forces of Zur and the Kodan Armada as they attacked the Star League with a meteor gun, as it named.
Probably all the way through. It just reminds me of Turd Blossom from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm dancing, Turd Blossom.
Distracting you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was built by the Gunstar was built by the Rylans, who are the main race running the Star League, and basically it was the inspiration for a number of spaceships down the line, including the one Star Fury of some show called Babylon 5, I think.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. And yeah, especially in the way that it actually moves in the case of having 4 corner-mounted thrusters that will spin it around. The ship itself is never really seen going into hyperspace, however it's kind of implied by the fact that it leaves the starbase and within a matter of hours reaches the frontier, millions and millions of miles away. But, you know, there's nothing really shown. So anyway, the only real weakness of the Death Blossom, which is essentially a barrage of weapons built into the hull that will open up and fire in every conceivable direction, is it has a relatively short range, and once fired, it will basically it uses up so much power that the ship has to go into shutdown for 5 minutes.
That's
so it's an alpha strike.
Yes, it's
an mech warriors amongst us.
Yeah.
That and the fact that when you fire it, you're going to be so damn sick.
Yeah. Well,
poor guy's spinning around in his cockpit.
Yeah. Well, interestingly though, the actual cockpit itself is kind of free floating. So I think the special effects just kind of limited it to being sort of free floating, as in left and right. But the initial concept was that the cockpit could be up in any direction it needed to be. So it could basically, because the guns, based on the, is it the AH-64 gunship? The
Apache.
The Apache, yeah. Basically, the guns on the front, the forward-firing laser guns, are actually linked to the pilot's chair. And
I just want to qualify that the Apache does not have laser guns.
It does not, no.
Really?
And so therefore, wherever the pilot appears to be looking is actually where the gun is firing.
Yeah, but when he fires the Turd Blossom, it spins him, like 360 degrees all over the place.
Yeah, I think the plan,
that's not good for your guts.
No, but I think the plan was that that the ship would fly around and the turrets, the seat would essentially sit still.
Oh, so the rest of the ship's doing that as well. Well, that's certainly not what the visuals tell you,
no,
is it?
No, the visuals, it doesn't get realised. But like I say, the initial design of the Gunstar initially was going to have that chair as a free-floating ball inside the front. So in theory, he could be upside down while flying the ship in a straight line and then spinning the ship around. But that proved to be far too far beyond.
You know what that reminds me of? Those old Britain spaceships with the cockpits that always stayed the same.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly the ones. and also those ship fighter craft from Lost in Space.
Ah, fuck off.
There you go. Now you're welcome. Right, so that's that. And the Gunstar is also notable for being one of the first ever CGI spaceships. In fact, I think it is the first ever CGI spaceship. And I'd pull out some CGI details on it, but frankly, it's a bit too boring to go into. So let's rate this bugger then. First things up, it's really, really small. It's only 20 meters, so that's a 1 for size. Mm-hmm. Sublight, we don't really get a sense of how fast it is. We just know that it leaves the secret Star League base, and gets away very, very quickly, and gets to the outside edge of their territory in a matter of minutes. But we never really see how fast it is, so we'll have to give that a 1, unfortunately.
Alas, them's the rules.
Yeah. FTL. The FTL, now this is from Space Battles, which is always a reliable place to go to.
Oh, dear God.
But
I used to run that place, you know.
Yeah, well, you've only got yourself to blame then.
And it clearly went downhill after you left.
Well, I don't know. Depends. When were you running it, Andy?
I left in 2014.
Oh, well, there you go. The thread that I'm actually looking at is from 2014, so maybe this was it. This was maybe the
put it this way. You know those people who go around editing the Wikipedia and everything like this?
Mm.
Yeah, they practice on space battles.
Nice.
just to let you know the level of authority of which to take this stuff.
Well, all I was going to say was that they mentioned the fact that the Gunstar does have FTL, but the problem is that the Gunstar's FTL is much like the guy who recruits Alex. He has a car that flies and then just basically goes dump and just jumps off into hyperspace, and the hyperspace is kind of a sad knockoff of the Star Wars one with sort of streaky lines and all that kind of thing. And the Gunstar has it, but we don't know how fast it goes. We just know that it does.
You're saying is 1, basically.
Yeah, but I had to acknowledge that it was there, and it was all built into the same engines. Maneuverability. Now, this is different.
Bloody brilliant, presumably.
I was going to say, absolutely.
Yeah. It's up there with a tumble dryer.
Yeah. But also, there's a sequence where they fly at very high speed down a very narrow tunnel inside a rolling asteroid. So I would be asking for a 4 for this.
Yeah, if you want to.
I would possibly even argue 5. I mean,
I would argue 5, but the problem is that it's seen a couple of times bumping into things.
Right.
So it doesn't quite get the 5.
Have 4 with pleasure.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not scoring high on this thing. Firepower. Now the firepower is kind of odd, because obviously you have just standard fighter style things, which would give it 2.
Yeah,
but
pew pew for 2.
Pew pew for 2, exactly. But as far as the Death Blossom is concerned, it is a one-shot weapon, and it will take out pretty much it's
every motherfucker in the room.
Exactly, it's the AK-47 from Jackie Brown. When you
it's the X-Bomber.
Yeah, exactly. When you absolutely positively have to kill every motherfucker in the room, except no substitutes. So essentially,
Jackie Brown.
It's a smart bomb in game parlance. So I don't know how we.
Yeah, but are we talking with one-shotting? Because it's been fucking years since I've seen this.
Oh no, it doesn't one-shot a capital ship. Oh no,
no.
That's what I was getting. I mean, it's smaller ships. All right, fine.
I mean, I would be.
What are you asking for?
I would be asking for a 5, putting it up in sort of the Slave 1 kind of region. Because
I'd push you to a 6 for that.
Yeah, I think Slave 1 might be slightly overpowered, but
I think that was because we had all the seismic charges and all that kind of.
It's true,
as well.
But yeah, I think a 6 would be because it's the one of a Death Blossom. So yeah.
Okay, fine, 6. I'll take a 6. I didn't think I was going to get it, so I'll have it.
Get your 6 for your Turd Blossom.
Nice.
You know what? That's the first ship to get a 6.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I lie. The Doninger got one too.
There you go. Okay, so active defense, absolutely fuck all.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, why did I type 1 in there then, like a div? Right, passive defense. It literally has armor, and not very good armor at that. So that's going to be a 2 tops. And special, well, we do have the Death Blossom, but that doesn't necessarily count because that's a weapon.
Yeah, you've already kind of used that for your
shot
firepower.
that, yeah. So, unfortunately, that's got nothing as well. No special. As for crew, it's got 2 people, so that's a 1. And here we go for competence. Well, basically, Alex is the best starfighter. He's the last one. And
it's video games.
He's very good at video games.
Yes, 3.
So
was it 4 for video games?
It's 4 video games, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he does. Using the Axiom example, he does get better. Yeah, he does improve, and he does spend. There's actually a whole section in the film where basically he spends like ages just practicing shooting down drones.
Yeah, but it doesn't have 80s montage music.
No.
Doesn't count then.
But it does
badly wounded by that.
Yeah, but it does have Alex Silvestri. Is that Alex Silvestri?
No,
no,
I know who you mean.
Alan Silvestri.
Yeah,
music. Alan Silvestri does a lot of music. He did bloody Back to the Future, you heathen.
Yeah, Predator.
Yeah,
good for him.
And Predator.
Yeah.
someone's hit the second beer.
Second, bloody hell.
Yeah, okay.
Did you miss the last mini-sode?
No. I was going to say since we started,
the beer has run out. That's where I've got to.
Oh, are we on to the tequila already?
I wish.
Yeah. So I was going to ask for a competence of 3, to be honest.
Oh, I'll push up to a 4 for that.
Yeah, you can have 4.
4? Blimey, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
God,
Video
today
games.
This episode is the episode of generousness. We keep pushing each other up.
It is.
No. Don't worry, Pete. I'm coming up in a minute.
Yeah, but you've chosen.
Yeah, don't worry. Andromeda.
What you sow.
So exterior, it's terrible CGI. The design is nice,
Reptile.
but yeah, it's not quite Reptile. It's not quite Reptile from Mortal Kombat, but it ain't far off. Unfortunately, this is real early stuff, and while it might have been cutting edge at the time, it's not even remotely standing up.
I remember being breathless
close.
when I first saw this because I'd never seen anything like it.
Mm.
Looking again today, it was like, oh dear.
So I'm gonna give it 2 purely for the design.
Fair enough.
Okay, interior. Well, it's the finest of 80s sets. It's grey. It's very grey.
It's great. It's of 80s. It's not even a set, really, is it?
No, it's just a rotating chair, a screen, a green screen, and a bloke in it who looks like he's gone face down in his chalky porridge, sitting behind him.
Oh, bless. It's a good makeup job, actually, but you can't count that, unfortunately.
No, sadly. So, unfortunately, again, interior is really just a green screen. You might as well, if we rate it too high, then we start doing weather reports. So I'm going to give that a 2 as well.
Fair enough.
Science. Away with the fairies. Where does that Death Blossom sit inside that ship? How does it hold all that ordnance? Where do all those drones come from? Why is it he hasn't died from inertial death when that thing spins around at 1,000,000 miles an hour?
How come he hasn't vomited everywhere, for heaven's sake?
Yeah, exactly. And that's before we even get to someone having a car that can fly through hyperspace and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm giving that a big fat 0.
Well, you might get
0?
1 for the fact the
1.
engines turn it round.
Oh, okay, 1. 1 for inertial
It's
flight.
got some science.
1 for inertial flight. Cool factor. Well, it is a cool ship. I got to say that. It is a cool ship, and I remember it being alongside the X-Wing in my mind at the time. Like, I want one of those. Thank you very much indeed. But, looking at it now, I can't see it as a particularly cool ship. So, out of my 4, I'm going to give it 2.
Okay. Well, that's my 3. I like the design. It is just horribly realised because of when it was produced. If they'd made a model of it, I would have given it my full 3, but they didn't. They did its CG back in the day when CG was, very basic. So 2, I think, from me. 2 for you. So okay, and Andy.
Oh, I'm gonna have to give it a 1. I'm afraid it's the decal on the side of it looks like it belongs on a 1980s Suzuki 4x4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't. It's like the Chinese knockoff of a X-wing and a Viper. It's like they kind of caught a very quick glimpse of one and just kind of knocked this. It's the toys your grandmother used to get you at the chemist.
Yeah.
They're shit. No one wants them. That's
Yeah.
what this is.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, cool. There you go. So, the Gunstar slams into the ground with a ignominious 30 points.
I'm afraid so.
Oh,
It's a shame.
Big
It's a shame.
fat splat.
Yeah.
Which actually puts it in
The bottom 10.
The bottom
Yes.
10.
I'll have to do it again next time.
Oh,
Bollocks.
God, it's in the bottom 10. It's in the bottom 10.
Actually, you might have more ships in there now than Peter does.
I think I do. Yeah.
Oh, the irony.
There you go. So, unfortunately, my bottom 10 scoring system has gone a bit wonky, and it's looking at the bottom 12.
Out of control.
Yeah. So,
My vision is impaired. I cannot see.
Yeah, but it has pushed.
Explain.
It has pushed the LV-426 derelict out. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the scores, guys. Seriously.
Yeah. Yes. It'll be fixed later.
It will be fixed. I will.
There's something to see here. Move along.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
You can go about your business.
Yes.
Move along.
Move along.
Move along.
Move along. Yeah. Yes. Right. Okay. So, shit's happened. There you go. So,
You think the shit has happened?
Yes.
No, nothing.
Yes. I was molded by the shit. Born in it.
What am I doing in this Lego movie?
Yeah.
It'll be our reckoning.
Yeah.
Hooray for me.
Anyway, right, so there you go. That's the Gunstar. It's crap. It's not done as well as I thought it would. I'm sad.
Yeah, me too a bit, but there we are.
But there you go. But don't worry. I think there's plenty of time to be joined down at the bottom with the Andromeda Ascendant.
Okay, so I'm bringing the Andromeda Ascendant on the suggestion of Mr. Laz Allen. So shake your fists in his general direction. Damn you, sir. Anyway, from Gene Roddenberry's TV show Andromeda, which my understanding of the extent of his involvement actually was that at one point he had an idea for a science fiction show other than Star Trek. But there you go. The Andromeda Ascendant, and I'm just reading this from the wiki, so bear with me. Registry Shining Path to Truth and Knowledge Artificial Intelligence Model GRA112 serial number XMC-10-284.
Bloody hell, that's not as catchy as NCC 1701, is it?
It's really not, is it? Was a warship of the Federation. I'm sorry, the Systems Commonwealth. And one of the last surviving glorious heritage class ships of the Starfleet. I'm sorry, the High Guard. It happens a lot, I'm afraid. Regarded as one of the most powerful ships in the known galaxies. Yes, because the Systems Commonwealth spanned 3 galaxies. Because why wouldn't you?
Why not?
She is one of the most recognisable ships, achieving near mythic status. Presumably because it had a Greek demigod as its captain. That's all I can assume.
And it looked like shit.
It's come up a lot tonight, really, hasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, the Andromeda Ascendant is the 10th glorious heritage class heavy cruiser built in the days of the old Systems Commonwealth. She was built in the Newport News orbital shipyard over Earth in the year CY 9768. And it took 4 years. Yeah, and she had a slipstream drive installed in 9772, and her artificial intelligence was installed with a sentient ceremony at the Daystrom Institute. The Shining Path Truth Knowledge Institute. In 9772 on the 12th day of Keldons, whatever that means. Those were all English words.
A partridge in a pear tree.
They were all English words, I'm sure, but I have no idea what on earth I just said.
Yeah.
Anyway, the ship was assigned to Captain Hercules, or Dylan Hunt, if you will. and it had a large, rather uneventful career until the Nietzscheans, who were totally not a cross between Klingons and Vulcans.
Nietzschean.
Yeah.
Nietzscheans.
Really?
Yeah.
They went down that route.
Yeah.
They went there.
Yeah, it's nothing if not on the nose, this thing.
Yeah, it's subtle, isn't it? It's so subtle.
Like I said, it's something Gene Roddenberry apparently wrote on the back of a napkin that someone found in the bin. Anyway, they decided they didn't like being part of the Federation, Site Systems Commonwealth, so started a massive civil war. And unfortunately, in all of this, the Andromeda got stuck in a black hole. As you do, where it sat for 300 years until a group of misfits came along and tried to salvage the ship, only to find out that Hercules was still alive on the ship. Due to time dilation effects, no time had passed for him, even though 300 years had passed outside. Cue the Buck Rogers theme.
If only it were this cool.
If only. Anyway, the ship was pulled out of the black hole and was suddenly the single most powerful warship in the known galaxies on account that civilization had basically collapsed in the intervening 300 years. And they went on to have many adventures. The first two seasons of which were quite reasonable, but then Hercules got upset that he wasn't the star in every episode, fired the writer, and it kind of went downhill from there. A couple of things just about the Andromeda in general. It is powered by antiprotons and hydrogen in a matter-antimatter reaction. Never heard of that before, anyway. No, not at all. It utilizes a slipstream FTL system, which allows it to transverse across the new Commonwealth. Basically, with these ships are largely capable of operating independently because of their AIs are effectively sentient. But one thing the AIs can't do is do the FTL thing. You have to have a pilot to do that, which is kind of like the really shitty subplot from the Wing Command movie. So
we'll
don't know why I brought that up.
We'll get to that one day.
One day, yeah. Anyway, she has a layered defense system, extremely effective at protecting the ship from any attack. Outer layers consist of 16 ES-11 Oracle heavy sensor attack drones and 8 ES-14 Janus light sensor attack drones, and 76 not active all the time Type 2 arc light slip fighters. Again, English words, I'm sure, but they don't really mean a whole lot there. Today's inspirational quote: "If you hold someone long enough underwater, they'll stop being a cunt." Good to know. I'm avoiding the pool.
Sorry, just handy to know whenever you're talking about Kevin Sorbo.
Yes. Oh, there we go. Oh, thank God. I was watching for a minute. She has 12 50 megawatt point defense lasers, which have a maximum effective range of 75 light seconds. 6 radiating cat. That's words. Lots of words.
2 fibbles and an onion ring. Thanks.
Yes, and a part on a pear tree. Look, I'll just link to the Wikipedia on the thing, and let's just go on and rate this thing, because, I'm reading words. They don't mean a whole lot to me. Like I said, first 2 seasons, pretty reasonable. Had the potential of being very good. And then they fired the writer, the showrunner. And, yeah, it became Hercules in space.
This is what happens when Gene Roddenberry leaves like scribbles in his sort of bedside table and then dies. Because we had this, and then we had Earth Final conflict.
That was before this.
Yeah, I know, but
I take your meaning. Yeah,
it just turned up, and there's no discernible reason for any of it, and it's all just bollocks. And this Andromeda was very much like, hey, guess what? What happens if the Federation went tits up because the Vulcans had a go at them?
No. It's very clearly the Systems Commonwealth. I was very clear on that. It is clearly not the Federation. I said that
at all
twice.
Yeah, honest gov. Anyway, moving on. What's the size then? What's the size of this fucking spiky dong thing?
The size of this, I don't know, imaginative sex toy is 1,300 meters.
Sorry, what was that? I was hearing
1,301 meters.
1,301 meters would put that at 10.
Hey.
Not all about the length, though.
No, it's how many stripes you can get on that spiky dong. It's just weird. It's just a weird looking ship. Anyway, go on.
It is. Sublight, it is pretty fast. I think probably talking a 5 because it's capable of outrunning a supernova without going into FTL space. So,
fucking hellfire. Go on. Yeah, okay, 5.
So that's a 5. FTL, again, it is slipstream thing. It can traverse galaxies near instantaneously because the system's Commonwealth is across 3 of them. So,
God,
I guess that's a 5.
God, this feels like Jesus the super ship.
It's entirely possible. Again, bearing in mind this is from Gene Roddenberry, who, as much as we respect and thank him for Star Trek, have to remember he is largely responsible for Next Generation Season 1.
Yeah. All that's wrong with it. Certainly.
And the motion picture.
Yeah.
And the motion picture, yeah. Basically, anything post original series, you've got to. Yeah.
And let's be honest, Next Generation only got good after he left.
Pretty much after his hands were spanked and he was told he's not allowed to touch it anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, maneuverability. It's actually pretty sprightly for a ship of its size. More so than a Trek capital ship. I mean, I don't think it's quite a White Star, but it's certainly more than something like the Enterprise D or the Defiant. So
it's a 4, isn't it? That's what you're
it's pretty much
for.
a 4.
I fear so.
Now firepower. I can read off a lot of numbers and so forth for various guns this thing has, but I'm just going to direct your attention to one thing: the Nova bomb that these things carry. You remember when I said it outran a supernova?
That's because that's the one it dropped, wasn't it? To get it out of the black hole. Oh, fucking
so that
fire.
would be
a solar system destroying bomb.
Yeah.
Fucking hellfire! It was just Mary Sue the spaceship, wasn't it?
It got. I don't think it necessarily started out as that, but like I said, the second Kevin Sorbo took over, it became that.
So that's a 15.
Yeah.
That's a 15.
Fucking hellfire! If this makes it to number 1 and beats the Death Star, I will absolutely lose my shit. This spiky strap-on of a spaceship is just absolutely bloody awful.
It's halfway there.
While I really don't want it to go into the top 10, honestly, I do really want you to lose your shit. So I'm a little torn here.
Yeah, well, you would be if you wore this thing as a strap-on. Anyway, go on, move on.
Sorry.
Have you broken, Andy?
Yeah,
Little bit. Okay.
Yeah, like Natalie and Bruglia. Go on.
Right. Okay, I'm back.
Torn, the song.
Oh,
well, go back to your beer.
I think post 10cc is a haze for me.
So, active defense. They are she's got maneuverability, so that's a point there.
Yep.
She's got her ECM and stuff like that, and Ronnie doing her whatever stuff that the AI stuff did. Yeah, they call the AI Ronnie.
Yeah, it's Alexia Doig, isn't it?
Oh, yes, I know her, yes.
Yes,
I
who did actually wear a very nice short latex skirt at one point, but I digress. She's got a point defense weapon system.
3. Has she also got a kill everything button bomb or something?
Quite possibly does.
Pause time whilst you kick everybody in the nads.
Spaceship
she can go into a black hole and survive that, stopping time. So apparently,
for fuck's sake!
Command ship, halt the flow of time.
Yeah, and they can hack into other ships as well and take over them. So
God, so that's a 4 for active.
Yeah, I think that's everything there.
Okay, passive.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Well, on passive, I don't think it has shields in the sense of Trek shields, but the aforementioned effectively flies into a black hole and walks out of it with nary a scratch. I think we've got to be talking a 4 or 5.
4. Oh, gods, this is just bad. Go on.
Once again, I'd like to dock my cap to Laz Allen, who I think it's in your best interest, Laz, if you just don't come back to London for a while. Just stay north of the border. You're safe there.
Jesus.
Just as well you don't know where you live.
But for a small fee paid to Andy in unmarked bills, we will.
Oh yes.
Oh, yes, we will.
That certainly
Bags of flame
arranged.
shit shall be arriving.
Oh dear.
So what are you sticking at that?
For
No, I was asking. You think it's 4 then, are you?
Four,
Okay. For special, we've got it has slip fighters, slip space fighting machine thingy-mabobbies.
Yep.
It has its own version of ground troops. What do they call these bloody things? They have a weird name. I can't find what they're called, but they're basically Marines.
They were called something like blobs or something, weren't they?
Blobs, yeah, they were called blobbies. Yes, it has a complement of blobbies.
They were almost
Blobby, Mr. Blobby.
They were almost Makos, weren't they?
Makos
is Enterprise.
Yeah, but they were essentially that.
They were essentially the Makos in that respect. Yes, I think that's everything. Because again, it doesn't have anything in the way of a cloaking device. You'll be happy to know, because Jesus super ship doesn't need that sort of shit.
Well, not after it's got.
That's not sporting.
Yeah,
it is. It is. I just turn up and fuck you all.
Yeah.
So there you go. She does have really, really powerful sensors. I mean, she can detect stealth and cloaked ships around her or anything like that.
Good for her,
So
but we're not
that's-
giving a point for it.
No.
Oh,
Okay. I thought that would count as a point because that.
Yeah, I think that's a point because it means if you've got a
Really?
We're on 50 points and we haven't even got the crew.
Yeah,
realisation
we're not
of
even
cool.
halfway through.
Oh fuck
Not
me! If this
I
becomes
tell you what, if nothing else, it might just not be Enterprise D, so that'll just piss off Man Marie.
no, you know what's going to happen.
Not just Anne-Marie, for the sake.
If this gets anything up of 100, I tell you what, that's it. This cast
Hey,
ends.
table flip.
Fuck this shit. I'm out. Peace out. Laz Allen can take over from me. Go on. Crew size.
Crew size of 4,500.
What?
What?
Not in the show. There isn't. There's 4 blokes and a thing that looks
Crew
like
complement,
half
4,500 living crew, skeleton crew of hundreds of androids.
They don't count. I didn't get the robots on bloody Axiom, so you don't get the androids.
I'm not counting everything. I'm counting the living crew.
Yeah, he's counting the crew before the skeleton crew, so that's a 7 for crew.
Oh, God.
Competence.
Well, here you go. Here you go. See, it's not all good or bad. I don't know where we're going on this one.
Or wank.
Or wank. I kind of feel we kind of need to fall on the Peter defense here, though, because on the one hand, they kind of got caught out in the Civil War, taken out by their closest Vulcan allies, Nietzschean allies, and got themselves stuck in a black hole
for 500 years.
For 500 years. But on the flip side, they did then kind of manage to, through sheer force of charisma of Captain Dylan T. Hunt. T stands for Tiberius.
Yeah. And Hunt rhymes with...
Yes, quite. I was going Chris Hunt, maybe.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you hold someone underwater long enough, they stop being a hunt.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. I'll say a 3, and I'll step back and just see what happens to it.
I've literally only seen scenes with this ship in, so I've got no idea on the crew.
The problem we have is when we say crew competence, are we talking about the crew as in at the beginning of the show? Because they're all fucking dead by about 5 minutes into the show.
Oh, they don't die; they escape.
Well, you know what I mean. They're all out. They're actually out of the fucking.
Well, they saw the ship was flying towards a black hole and wisely got out of it.
Yeah,
It's counting for something. That's better than Voyager.
Yeah, but we scored Voyager minus numbers originally, if you remember.
No, exactly. I'm just pointing out. Look, I've asked for 3. State your cases for what you want to give it, and the triumvative will give it the appropriate kicking.
Can we knock a point off for Kevin Sorbo being an absolute knob?
Absolutely.
That's 2 then. Let's move on.
2 done.
Yay!
Yeah,
2. There you go.
done.
Exterior. Okay, here you go. Here you go. You see,
Yes, here
realization.
Wank.
It's pretty fucking wank. I'd say a 2 for exterior.
Yep.
Do you know what? As much as I really hate to disagree with you guys at this point, I cannot give it a 2, given that we've just given the Gunstar a 2. It's not as bad as that.
Well, it's certainly
It's
not
up
as
there.
that. It's not. Well, I'll go for a 3, but I mean, as CG, it's early 2000s CG. But that being said, they were experimenting with splines.
Yes, and
With what now?
curvy CG basically.
Yes, curvy CG was hard to do for a long while.
Very hard to do. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give it over 3, but I wouldn't give it a 2, given the Gunstar's just got a 2 and the Vorlon Transport got a 2.
Okay,
I mean,
3 then.
It's just
Because again, it's not even that. It's also as we've said, it's also the design, and the design is not great.
the design looks like some kind of S&M weapon.
It looks like a
it
rocking
has been
chair
re-
that's been sat on.
Okay, so interior.
2
2.
at best.
Yeah, you're gonna get 2 from me.
You do see quite a bit of it, but again, it's I think they were sets left over from a fucking Prometheus from Stargate and other just that early 2000s like Farscape sets and everything. It's just like yeah.
Okay, science.
I'll take a 1, please, Bob.
You shall have a 1. Okay, and cool factor.
Now, I believe the rules dictate as the person bringing the ship, I'm not allowed to give it 0.
Yes.
Sadly so.
So I'll give it 1.
Okay. Well, that's good because I'm giving it a 0. What are you giving it, Pete?
I'm giving it the 0 that it truly deserves.
Yeah. And so, even with the last minute kicking, the Andromeda Ascendant gets 66 points.
No.
66 points.
Put in bloody Darth Vader going, no.
I mean, thank Christ we didn't give it any more, because I'll tell you what, it's sitting 2 points under the 4th place. It is now sitting 5th place in the top 10.
See what you've done.
Once again, I'd like to thank Laz Allen for the suggestion of the Andromeda Ascendant.
Yeah, fuck you, Laz. Do it all again.
They don't mean that.
Very much.
Oh, no, I think I do. I'm fairly sure.
Pretty much so. In fact, I'd be up there. You'd be on my list of abominations unto the Lord, I suspect.
Yeah,
when that comes from a priest, that means something.
Yeah, that's it. You're yeah. So well done, and fuck you, Laz, and we hope you die in a tire fire. As the Andromeda Ascendant, the spiky silver dildo of...
To be fair, it's not spiky.
It is.
They're not spikes. They're just
weird.
No,
Yeah.
it has those... It has
you know what this is? It's Slanishi watch made manifest.
Oh, God almighty.
It's not that sexy.
Neither is Slanishi watch.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong.
Hold on. Andromeda Ascendant, I'm pretty sure it has spikes that come out when it goes into that stupid Nova Bomb bollocks. It actually,
they do pop out of it. Yeah, you're
it's
right.
like little sort of things that kind of frill out from the sides. Either way.
Well, I mean, I suppose you can say this for our scoring system. Even when all three of us absolutely hate a ship, it scores well if it qualifies. So
yeah,
we are slaves to our system.
Why though? That's the question. Why?
Why?
Why? Because I can.
Jesus.
Because it hurts you.
He tasks me. He tasks me, and I should have him.
You know, things are bad when we start quoting Star Trek 2.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Row, row, row.
Oh, now things are good when you're quoting Star Trek 5.
Oh, God. Well, there you go. So that's... And
Hey, what do you know? We've got entries on both the top and bottom 10 this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What will we do next time?
I know.
I have no idea, but Andromedas has really stuffed it to me today. That's not.
Yeah, that's pissed all over my week.
Yeah, I was going to say, was this the cherry on your shit cake?
Yeah, this is basically taking a dump right in my ear. I mean, seriously, this is a fucking terrible, terrible ship.
It is,
and it's a terrible, terrible series.
Again, not going to disagree with you there one little bit. It had such promise in the first 2 seasons as well. I mean, it had problems, but so many shows doing their first season. But you could see it was starting to get good, and then it just went
Star Trek Scientology.
Yeah,
It's just Scientology Trek. I mean, come on. Oh, terrible fucking piece of shit.
on the upside, Kevin Sorbo, where is he now?
Making heavily Christian sort of God-fearing, God-bothering movies about God being God and everyone else being heathens.
And doing so well, I've never even heard of him. So,
oh well, don't worry. Have fun with that.
Yeah, you're going to tell me now you're going to do one of his films next on Black Dog, but
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fucking hell, my day can't get any worse. But anyway, all right then. Well, there you go.
Oh wow, you're actually telling the truth. I thought you were just bullshit. I just looked it up. He's actually doing that.
oh god,
What? The Sorbo film.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. So, now it just leaves us to tell you what we're going to be doing next week while I go and drink myself into oblivion for the next 7 days. Right, and so we will be picking the USS Enterprise E, the Sovereign class. Fucking right here, right now, I'm finally bringing the bastard.
Are you throwing down, bro?
Yeah,
Are you throwing down?
I'm throwing down. So what are you bringing, Andy?
Oh well, if you're bringing your big guns,
Bring it.
I'm gonna bring
Yeah.
the fastest hunker chunk in the galaxy, the Millennium Falcon.
Booyah! Oh right.
Oh, it's on!
It's
on!
It's like one of those. It's like one of those fucking adverts for insurance with men dancing in cut down shorts pretending to be girls. Go for it. What? So come on in. It's on. It's on.
It's on.
What are
It's
you
on.
bringing, Pete? What are you
I
bringing?
believe.
I'm pressing the big red button,
Yeah.
and I'm launching in your face
Yeah.
the one, the only, the fucking TARDIS.
No.
Where's that red?
Oh shit.
You closet to a Legends fight.
So yes, it is. It's Spaceship Legends. Well, I knew we were never going to do the TARDIS, but apparently, when we've now got 100 episodes, 100 ships,
100 ships.
We are going to be doing ships 97, 98, and 98, 99, 100. There you go.
Anything goes.
And yeah, there you go. Guards. Well, so there you go. It's Picard versus the Doctor versus Han Solo.
Ooh.
And Chewie.
The fanboy's dream.
Wow. This is it. This is what we want. This is what Space
I've got
Ducks
a
will be
boner
about.
already.
Oh, so join us next time where we will all be
We'll
tumescent
be spaffing our wad.
over the biggest and the most legendary spaceships of all, the ultimate episode.
Who will dare? Who will dare not give it all of their cool points?
Yeah. Who will be the one to stand there and go, it was all right. So, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Get on Facebook. Get on Twitter. Tell us what ones you think are going to win. Is it going to be the Enterprise E? Is it going to be the TARDIS? Or is it going to be the Millennium Falcon? It's over to you. We'll ignore you, but it'll be worth the conversation, I'm sure.
You decide. No, you don't.
You decide.
You don't. You really don't.
No. So, until then, like I say, join us on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/SpaceDocJury. Join us on Twitter, which is @SpaceDocJury. And Pete, where can they find you elsewhere?
Looking shifty around the back of the bicycle sheds. I don't know. Probably on broadcast on doing Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Lovely. And what about you, Andy?
You can find me on rogue2.com with Ultimate Manners doing the Band of Brothers podcast. And I think by the time this comes out, we'll have also done a couple of Grand Prix podcasts again. I can't remember our funny name for that. So, yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah. It should just be called the Spoiler Cast.
The Spoiler Cast, yes.
There you go. See?
Flaps and spoilers.
Flaps, spoilers, and rubber bits.
It's the pits.
That's actually pretty good, actually.
Oh, God. Santander. Anyway, right. So, going round in circles season. Right. Well, that's it. You can hear me on Black Dog Podcast, which you can find you can find the Black Dog Podcast feed, which is podcast.blackdogpodcast.com. You can also find us on iTunes. Just search for the Black Dog Podcast. And, that's that. So, thanks very much for listening. Take care. And, like I say, sharpen your fanboy pencils for writing very stern letters. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Space Doc Jury is a production of 3 Angry Beards.